Hey guys, it's Jason Webb. This is the show that highlights local business leaders and the movers and shakers of Minnesota. Welcome to Minnesota Made. Well, I'm sitting here with Todd Meyer over at EnviroChem, located in Rogers, Minnesota. And one thing I found out about you, Todd, do you have a nickname like the Great White Hunter or anything like that?
No, I am pretty quiet about when I do that kind of stuff. I just enjoy the experiences and the traveling and.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So.
You have interesting stories. Did you start hunting as a kid with your dad, or?
No, I did hunt with my dad.
Deer hunting
in Minnesota.
Yeah.
So I grew up doing that, but I really didn't start traveling to do hunting until I was 29, 30.
Yeah, you took it to the next level.
Met some people in that industry and
awesome.
Said, I think I want to try this. And then I just enjoyed traveling and seeing the background or the back, kind of behind the curtain of these countries. Tourism, you just see the best of, and you get treated the best. You don't see the backside, the low income, the people that are struggling, or anything, or even their farms, or just their cultures, their outdoor cultures. You just see,
experience the true culture of the country.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah, rather than hanging out at the hotel or the resort and eating at the fancy restaurants and sitting in the pool.
Right.
You get to really get first-hand experience how the locals live.
Exactly. Sitting around the campfire eating their foods.
Yeah.
Doing with it. Yeah.
That's great. I've gone on not hunting trips like that, but I've been on the tourist side. And I mean, I have to agree. I'm the type of guy where I can't sit by the pool all day or sit on the beach all day. It's like I'm always looking for something to do. Yep. What kind of adventures are around here? So, yeah, that's awesome. Going back to deer hunting and as a kid, little Todd, I think you said you grew up in Elk River?
No, I live in Elk River now.
Oh, okay.
I basically grew up in Northfield.
Northfield, okay.
And then, but both my dad and my mom family had farms, so I was able to hunt on those farms.
Okay, what kind of farms were they?
One.
Like hobby farms or?
No, they were full-blown farms at the time.
Dairy farms?
Dairy farms and beef cow farms.
Okay, that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Northfield's
where I grew up.
And is that where you went to high school?
No, I moved right before high school.
Okay.
And then we went to Long Lake.
Long Lake, yeah.
Which is just north of Lake Minnetonka.
Okay, all right. So what'd you like doing as a kid? Anything besides hunting, or?
I was sports. Did baseball. I wrestled.
Oh, you did.
And then I played football. So I did.
Yeah, you're a bigger guy. So did you do well in the sports? Did you like wrestling and football and all that?
I did.
Yeah.
I excelled more in the wrestling. I actually went to college at St. Cloud for wrestling.
Oh,
so I wrestled at St. Cloud for a little while.
Man, that is a tough sport. I went up for wrestling, I think, in 9th grade, and I played football in my life, but wrestling, I had a new respect, man. That I don't know. Would you agree? That's got to be one of the toughest sports out there.
Yeah, it really is, and people don't really realize what it takes. I mean, you're using every time you step on that mat, you're using every muscle in your body.
Yeah.
I mean, everything is going at once. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. So you went to St. Cloud State University?
Yes.
Okay. And after college, then what? Did you join the family business out here?
Right. At that point, my mom said, well, we need you here. You know what I mean? It's either you come work for us or we have to fill the position. So.
Okay.
And so I said, I'll be down.
Okay. And so EnviroChem, was started by your parents?
Correct.
And have you guys always been located here in Rogers?
We started in Hamel.
Hamel, okay. And then moved out to Rogers.
Moved to Rogers, yep, in 85.
And when you got hired into the business, what was your role initially? Were you back there and working those big furnaces?
Yes, I probably worked every position at some point.
Okay.
But yeah, worked furnaces, and then I was in the lab, and then just moved. And my dad retired in 2005, and that's when I took over.
So on our tour, one of the, I guess, most impactful things that I seen were those big furnaces. And Can you talk to us a little bit about what it is that you do here at EnviroChem and how you guys might be different than similar or related businesses that do a similar thing?
Well, we're a precious metals recycling company. We do a lot of industrial grade recycling for precious metals, circuit boards, industrial films, X-ray films for the silver. We do, and that's probably where, and then we do, solutions, cyanide solutions or acid solutions that have precious metals, and then we pull the precious metals out.
Okay.
And that's probably one of the biggest things that sets us apart from other companies that do somewhat what we do.
Okay.
There are other computer board recyclers in the state,
Okay.
but there's nobody else that has incinerators. We're the last one,
Oh.
and melting furnaces.
Okay.
So we can do things that other people can't.
So why is that? Why are you the last one? People have moved on to something they think is bigger and better, or what's your impression
It's
of it?
difficult to keep the permits.
Oh,
And
through the state?
through the state, and I don't even know if you can get the permits now.
Okay, well that's interesting. Leave it to the government, huh?
Yes, because after we get finished with it or get it to a certain point, especially like with circuit boards, you grind them up and you get them to a certain point. We have to send them off to get them finalized because we're not quite that big. We send it to the big refiners, and there is none left in the United States. The EP has closed them all now.
Do they feel like it's bad for the environment, or what's their deal?
They just too many rules,
Too many rules.
not cost effective.
Oh,
So we send to Japan, or we send to Belgium,
interesting.
or we send to Canada. Those are the three that I guess we use Germany too. So there's 5 or 6 big ones in the world, and that's
Okay.
the ones that everybody pretty much uses.
Okay, Canada's still cool with it though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Huh. All right. So, talking to somebody like myself who really doesn't know much about the industry, circuit boards. So, where do these circuit boards come from? What does IBM call you and say, Todd, I got like a million pounds of circuit boards sitting here that we don't want anymore? Or?
Not very often. We do get calls like that every so often, but not quite as often. It's more from dismantlers, small guys that collect home computers, your local towers, your towers that you have in your house.
Okay.
They have circuit boards in them.
Yeah.
Or people that get the large computers from big companies. They dismantle them. They bring us the circuit boards, and we buy them from them.
Okay.
Or we process them for bigger companies. If they have larger quantities, we will melt them, grind them up, take a sample, and then pay them based on the sample.
And are most of these circuit boards, X-ray film and such, coming from Minnesota? Are they like local or from all over?
They're from all over.
Okay.
I deal with, we get a lot out of Texas.
Texas.
Yes.
A lot of circuit boards in Texas?
Well, yes, because that, Texas Instruments down there, some of the big companies down there, and the reason is because it's so dry. Here we get winter and stuff like that, so people that store them or keep them on hand, they get ruined. Where the big part of the industry is also resale.
Okay.
So we deal with companies that resale. They collect computers, pull out what they want to resell, and then they bring it to us. So we do a lot with those kind of tech companies too.
Okay. So resellers, they bring in a bunch of maybe older computers that they're gonna take parts out of.
Right. They might pull a chip off of, or it might be a special hard drive that's worth that's good money that they can resell again. That's needed. You know what I mean?
Okay. And then they're putting all the other stuff they don't want over here, and then that's where you.
And then we come in to handle that.
Interesting.
Like I said, I have down the road, we have a building with a shredder, a big large shredder in it, and then we also have where our tear apart area where we have people tearing apart computers also.
Okay.
So we get whole ones in also, especially from companies, because they don't want to tear it apart. So they
Yeah.
send us the whole system, a
Okay.
whole server or something like that, and then we tear them down.
Do you do that right here, or someplace else?
Down the road about a mile.
Oh, okay. Okay. So circuit boards, would you say that's makes up the majority of your business, or?
I'd say that's about 75%.
Okay. And I've seen X-ray films out there.
Yep.
Seen them loading them into a furnace.
An incinerator, yes.
Yes. So where are these X-ray films coming from typically?
They come from hospitals. They can come. It can be industrial grade, so that comes from casting places,
Okay.
pipe manufacturers.
Okay.
They take X-rays of their pipe to make sure there's no cracks or anything in
No
them.
flaws. Yeah.
No flaws.
Yeah.
We get proprietary types of films from other companies.
Okay.
There's also from nuclear facilities.
Uh-huh.
The badges that they wear to make sure that they've got radiation.
Yep. Yep.
They have silver in them.
Okay.
Silver film.
Yeah.
You know, and they got to change them out every day. So we get, we get that stuff once in a while. And, I mean, it's amazing where you can find precious metals.
Man, you're bringing back my history here. So, I don't know, 27 years ago, I got a degree in non-destructive testing. And one of the things we got trained to do is take x-rays of welds, right?
Yep.
To see if there's any stress fractures or flaws in the weld. Kind of a preventative maintenance thing, right?
Yep.
So I worked with x-ray there. I used to be a chiropractor, and we took x-rays in my office there, so I worked with film there. As a non-destructive testing technician, I worked within nuclear power plants, and I had to wear those badges to see how much radiation I would pick up.
Yep.
Right. So yeah, you're bringing it all back to me, Todd.
All stuff that at some point probably came here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Funny. All right. So I seen the X-ray films going in the incinerator. Turns the ash. Right.
Correct. Yep.
Take the ash, and then what?
Then we can melt it down into bars.
You can melt ash.
Yes. Well, it's so concentrated at that point. It's silver. There's silver in it, so it's metal in it.
Yeah.
And you can melt that down. You know what I mean? We'll add a flux, which is like soda ash, borax, creates a glass film on top.
Okay.
Heats it down. Sometimes, depending on how concentrated it is, we might put metal in ahead of time.
Okay.
So it creates a pool and then it absorbs the rest of it.
Interesting.
Like when we do our circuit board melting and stuff like that, we have to add copper.
Okay. So this is where the chemistry's coming in.
Different things, yes.
Virochem.
Well, no, EnviroChem was picked by my dad. And the reason that this word called EnviroChem is because when he first started, all he worked up with was circuit board manufacturers.
Okay.
And they had lots of chemistry back then. Cyanides, acids that they needed to get rid of. In Minnesota at that time there was like 16 or 17 manufacturers in around the cities. And he was in the industry at that time.
Okay.
And he figured, and at that time they threw all their gold in the landfills. It was not recovered in 1980.
So your dad recognized that?
He recognized that.
Because he's part of that industry.
Right. So in 1980, in 81 he said, let's just start collecting this stuff and we'll pay, you know. And the owners all thought, you know, he basically knew, he's in the industry so he knew them all.
Yeah.
So basically he got almost 95% of them to start sending his stuff to him and the chemistry and, you know, and since we environmentally handle it safely, he said, well, use EnviroChem. So
it's a win-win.
Yep.
Yeah. So did you say there was like 16 to 18 local places?
Yeah, local manufacturing shops back in the 80s.
Yeah.
And now I think there's only 3.
Oh, wow.
But our industry has changed. We don't rely on them. We're where we relied on them back then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that just got us going.
Yeah. Now you're into other things.
Right. Well, now we're in, you know, at that point we were just getting the pre-made circuit boards. Now we're getting the old circuit boards. Now we're doing, you know, more films, stuff like that, where we weren't doing that originally. You know, when we started we didn't have incinerators. We had little melters, but we didn't have no incinerators or nothing like that.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, those things are pretty impressive. Dad started it, you came on, and then your brother,
Yes.
and then your son.
And my son's here also, yes.
Awesome. So what's it like working with family?
It's actually really good.
Yeah.
I mean, we get it. Of course, any family brothers are going to have our moments. But, but, you know, I mean, I'm also not afraid to go on vacation.
Yeah.
Because I know who's running it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's
awesome. I have 2 sons that are 7 and 8, and they're buddies, but they do have their moments.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I hear stories like this, I always picture my 2 boys working together and like what would that look like? Did you and your brother get along well growing up? Or?
Yes, we did.
Yeah. You close in age?
He wrestled too. No, well, 4 years.
4 years? Okay, not too.
Four, I believe.
Not too far. Awesome. And this business was started when?
Basically, end of 80, 81.
80. So you've been around a while.
Yeah.
How long you been doing it?
I've been doing it since 87.
Oh, you came on pretty early then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Awesome.
basically, when they started it, I was a sophomore.
Okay.
So I finished out high school and then did 3 years of college.
Do you remember those years back then when they first started the business?
Oh yeah, because I worked during the summer. So basically I've been working here since it started.
Okay.
But I mean, temporary in the summers during when I was still in school.
Yeah.
And then full time when I
Okay.
got out of it and came here full time.
Did things go well right out of the gate, or were there
No.
there were some growing pains?
There was, yes.
There's some lean times.
Yes.
Yes. Well, here you are. 2021. Still
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's the future look like for you? I mean, are you going to keep doing what you're doing indefinitely, or are you guys kind of you don't have to give any secrets away.
We're looking to grow. Actually, tomorrow I'm closing on a new building. So,
Really?
Yeah. So.
All right.
So we are expanding.
Awesome. That's
So-
exciting.
Yeah, it's very exciting. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that here in Rogers?
No, it's actually in Anoka.
Okay.
This building will never leave because
Are you going to keep this?
Well, because I could never move my incinerators.
You can't put them back in the
Nope,
truck?
Can't move them anywhere. We are grandfathered in, and I do not believe we would ever get our permits back.
So that's a state thing. The
Yes.
state's like, no, these
No.
things are staying here,
Right.
or they're
Right.
done.
Right. Because plus we'd have to deal with another city. You know what I mean? And most of the incinerators, we don't want those.
Oh, true.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'd have to move to South Dakota.
Or Canada.
Right. Well, no, I don't know. Yeah, maybe. But you know what I mean. So, and part of the reason is it's Anoka because that's the only place we could find warehouses.
Really?
Warehouses are very hard to find right now.
Really?
Yeah. So.
Huh. Why do you think that is?
Because warehouse industries weren't. I don't think they were as affected by the COVID as
Okay.
retail spaces and office spaces.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, retail and office are empty.
We're
all-
devastated. You could
Yeah.
find them everywhere.
Yeah.
But we looked far and hard for
warehouse.
For a warehouse. All of 220, we couldn't find anything close.
Sure.
And we were finding them in Blaine, one in Blaine or one here, but nothing
Close.
even in Elk River or something close. So we ended up going there. But
Okay.
it's only 16 minutes away, so it's not
Oh.
an
that's
outrageous
close.
amount. But
Yeah.
it's not. Our other warehouse is 1 mile down the road, and that's
Sure.
go there all the time. But
So you're gonna keep your office here? Or you're gonna move into a new spot?
no, I'll be here.
Okay. All right.
That'll be our tear apart facility, and our sorting facility. We just need more space.
Oh, well, that's a good sign.
Yeah,
Yeah. So if warehouse space is hard to find, you think.
I mean I could probably find it downtown.
Yeah.
but-
right. No.
Well, everybody's moving out of downtown now.
Yeah. Yeah. I
So-
wouldn't wanna.
I mean I got many customers that have moved away from downtown.
Yeah. I understand why. Downtown. So supply and demand for warehouse space. I would assume then. Probably had to pay kind of a pretty penny for the spot in Blaine, or did you feel like you got a reasonable deal on
I
it?
feel we got a reasonable deal because to build the same space it would cost us double what we paid.
Okay.
You can see it.
Price of building materials.
Everything, building materials are gone up so much, and,
Right.
and we looked in the building because we have 11 acres, down the road at our other facility.
Okay.
But it was
Expensive.
just way expensive, way more than what this little smaller company can handle.
Oh, sure. Yeah. No, I get it, man. Todd, one of the things you mentioned about your business is you got the industrial piece and you have the consumer piece.
Yes,
In which you receive your precious metals.
some of it. Yes, we
Right.
we do. We do. We buy from the local people. Can walk right in and sell us gold jewelry. We're very competitive on the prices, especially in the Twin Cities. And one reason we started doing that is because back, I would say, when gold started going up, probably 2010.
Okay.
Gold started going up. The gold buyers started jumping in and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
I remember seeing commercials and
Right,
stuff.
you were seeing all these commercials for "We Buy Your Gold,"
Yeah.
but we were hearing stories of people going in and selling it, and they were only getting 20% or 40% of the value. And
So
that's,
if I had $1,000 worth of gold and I brought it to somebody down the street, it's possible that they would only give me $200.
could be.
Yeah.
You know what I
maybe.
mean? You know what I mean? It's people don't know what they have.
Right.
So, you know, I mean, they might bring something and say, okay, yeah, well, that's great.
Yeah.
And don't realize that if they would have brought it here,
Yeah.
they could have got double
Yeah.
what they had. And we never really pushed this market. We always did it, but we never pushed it until about that time because we made a family decision that we wanted to help. That's when 2013, when we took that really, the markets all crashed a little bit and stuff like that, and people were hurting for money.
Yeah.
And we made a decision that we were going to pay
Higher.
really,
More.
really good
Yeah.
and just help these people out. You know what I mean? You can call us up and we'll tell you what we're paying.
Yeah.
Most places won't. They want you to come in,
Oh.
you know, and
Yeah. Get you a little committed.
they
and
try to be, you know, a
inconvenience.
used car salesman. That's what
Yeah.
they, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're probably based on commission of how low they can buy it from you.
Right.
We're not that way. I mean, because that does not pay our bills.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's not like do you guys have a special technique or anything that allows you to pay people more for
No.
their gold or precious metals?
No.
Or it's just a decision, it's just a mindset that
It's
we're
just a
gonna-
mindset.
Oh, okay.
I
That's
mean-
nice of you.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we could definitely, you know, pay less, but we don't because one thing is we're not paying. I don't have high rents. I mean, I understand partly why these guys do it.
Yeah.
They got high rent, they do
Advertising
advertising,
costs.
stuff
Yeah.
like that. But you know, advertising. I've tried to advertise in the Star Tribune. It really doesn't help.
Right.
I mean,
It's
there was
more-
a time when John Ewald from the Dollar and Cents division did an article and went around and tested everybody and said American was #1 by a long shot.
Really?
Yes, and we were flooded with people at that point.
Nice.
But the next time he did it, Star Tribune said, no, you can't do that. You can't tell anybody who's #1. You can't do this because we didn't advertise.
Oh, you
You
were
know,
given
we-
the Star Tribune enough.
Right.
Ah.
So, you know, a little political stuff got in there a little bit, you know what I mean? And the powers that be said, no, you can't do that. So
Yeah.
he still put our name in there, but he couldn't say that we were, how much better we were than everybody else. So the first time
Interesting.
he basically said, this is what I was selling, because he went around and tried to sell stuff. He got prices on everything. And then he put in there what he got offered in each place.
Okay.
So it showed, you know, and it showed a big difference from, we were #1, the second one was half of us. You know what I mean? Stuff like that, so.
Okay. So if I don't want my big gold chain
Yep.
or my gold grill anymore,
We get, yes, we do get that
I can
in.
bring it into you.
Yes, you can.
What do you
Broken,
get?
it can be broken, it can be whatever, you know what I mean? To us, it's not, doesn't have to be clean, doesn't have to be nice.
Okay. Okay. What do you get mostly from consumers? Is it gold? Is it like old jewelry?
Mostly,
Or
well, we get a lot of sterling too. We get
Okay.
sterling sets,
like old teapots and that kind of-
teapots, and
Platters.
trophies, platters, silverware.
Okay.
You know, we get that stuff. Part of it is because that culture, nobody does that anymore.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to clean them, keep
Yeah.
them clean.
Yeah.
So that's from an era that's just no longer around. So
Yeah.
you know, there's still people that will keep them, but as generations, I guess, you know, fathers or grandfathers pass away, and you know, downstream of that, all of a sudden they got 2-3 sets
Oh.
because people pass away, and they'll
It's like, what do I do with all these teapots?
Right. You know, what I mean? So they'll you know, they'll sell 1 or 2 sets. You know what I mean, or
Oh,
something.
sure.
You know, if they don't want to keep them, they'll
Yeah.
keep one. They'll pick one they want to keep. And,
Yeah.
but
I keep
No.
having flashbacks to when I was 16. You remember those? I went to. Well, you went to St. Cloud. Right?
Yes.
You remember your Crossroads Shopping Center?
yep.
And I used to go there at least once a month as a kid. Right. I grew up in Annandale.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember, but they had this kiosk in the middle. It wasn't a store, but they would sell like herringbone chain necklaces
Yes, but the 80s.
by
And
the inch.
Yep.
Right.
And that's and we see a lot of that now. You know what I mean?
And they'd always get kinked and twisted, and you're like, "Oh no, it's ruined."
Right.
You know?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you would have kept it, you could have sold it
I'd
to
be
us now.
rich.
Because
Yeah.
that's what we get a lot of them that people either kinked or
Yeah.
just got, herringbone is probably one of the most popular ones sold because
Yeah.
it's out of style.
Yeah. And it's rough on your chest.
Yes,
there,
it pulls
man.
hair and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
it's not good.
So you know, what I mean? So we get a lot of herring bone. You know, what I mean, we get teeth from Grandpa.
Oh,
We get,
nice.
that Grandpa's had, and it's in his jewelry box and stuff like that. So,
Okay.
you know.
Interesting. Awesome.
Yeah. So yeah.
So if anybody has any precious metals,
Yep.
bring them here and
Yep.
get top dollar.
You're right. You would be,
Yeah.
and you can call us up, and you know, I mean, we'll try to help. We'll answer any question you can on the phone. We don't have to be here.
And what's the best way to get a hold of you guys?
Just by calling the phone.
What's the phone number here?
763-428-4002.
And you guys have no websites.
We have a website and stuff like that. Yep.
Yep. All right.
But yeah, you can just give us a call, and no appointments needed. You can walk in at any time from, you know, basically 9 o'clock till 4.
Oh, convenient. Yeah. Awesome.
All right.
All right. Thank
Thank
you.
you.